Bondage. I don't know if we bring. I have to follow instructions from this man because he kind of taught me how to hold the mic. And y'all laugh, but we go back a long, long time, man. And I'm telling you,
Yes,
yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
I was telling them backstage, you know, Ra has been our Miles Davis. You want to talk about the epitome, birth of the cool? There's no other brother in the planet, especially in our ranks of hip hop, man, that's cooler than this man. And he doesn't put it on trying to be anything. He is the epitome
Thank you,
of
bro.
cool.
Thank you, bro.
Always honored to be in his presence.
Yes.
Right. I have my book, and when I heard this book was coming out, of course I rushed to, it didn't come out yet. I was like, when can I get it? And the first day I saw it, I bought 4. And I think I sent you some flicks, or
Yes,
you
sir.
ran into a couple of
Yeah.
my people,
That's right.
and they bought some. This, for MC, is the epitome and the grail for MCs and people in hip hop. And I was telling Rakim backstage, you don't grab this book like this. This man, you kind of like take it, you fold it, you hold it with 2 hands, and hold it like that. The inspirations
Appreciate you, G.
for the
Whoa.
book. You know,
Yes.
what seriously, like, you know, told you that it was time to encapsulate those words into something that people could just read?
Well, it took a while, man. Throughout my career, a lot of people kept asking me, yo, Rod, you should do a book. I never thought I was interesting enough, you know what I mean? So, you know, it was always far from, you know, reality for me, man. But I think through time, I kind of figured out a way where I can do it, tell a little bit of my story, and more than that, man, just try to inspire. You know what I mean? If it's rap, if it's art, if it's dance, if it's, you know, whatever you do in life, just try to inspire, man. So that was my guideline to keeping the book interesting, you know what I mean? Just, you know, make it about the creative process and what we all go through trying to create, you know what I mean? So it took a while, man, but it was therapeutic, and I'm glad I did it.
You've done a lot of cities, man, so I'm pretty sure when you do your book signings, you're seeing a lot of people close up, because you know sometimes in an audience you just see one and many. But when you're handling the books, you're seeing all this come. It's like peer-to-peer for real.
Indeed.
What are some of the best responses that you've got with somebody like you looking directly at them, they looking at you?
Oh man, just hearing the love, you know, that people have for me. You know what I mean? You know, you hear it at the shows, you know, somebody come up to you, or you hear it in the crowd, but the book signings is a little more intimate, man, and I see people from all walks of life, young and old, and just to hear how much I inspired them, you know what I mean? It keeps me going, man. So I think just getting that love, man, and just, you know, reconfirming that I did something good, and I'm getting that justice for it. You know what I mean? So it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
I mean, very few people can actually come into a genre of music and change the way that it's approached. You know, like Louis Armstrong did to jazz. He's the first one to change the whole way that people could actually sing,
Right.
and with the phrases. I tell people all the time what Louis Armstrong did in the 20s to just regular singing records. You did the hip hop, and you taught me, because I came in on some da 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 da, and Rakim and KRS-One with Poetry in the South Bronx changed the whole game with two records. I mean, changed the whole game, and it taught me, and I had to change up my game the whole next year because this man changed. And the difference was, it's like cats had to rhyme to the beat before. You made the beat move to you.
Yeah, well, I think I contribute that to jazz, man. Growing up, you know, in my house, man, a lot of jazz a lot of jazz. My mom's, um, she sang everything from opera to jazz. Played a lot of good jazz in the house. But it did two things for me, man. One, it let me know that a record it don't have to have vocals on it for you to feel it. And I used to sit there and hear certain songs and know exactly what they wanted me to feel like on it. You know what I mean? So knowing that taught me how to listen to the music and kind of create the song from that. Let the music take me where I'm supposed to go. Let the music create the style. Sometimes it might be a low rhythm inside of a, guitar, like something small. But I like to emphasize off of certain things if I find a rhythm that can create my rap flow. But that, and also, man, time and space. Hip hop is, relatively easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Jazz music is, you know what I mean? So I still hear that when I hear 1, 2, 3, 4. So, that was my way of getting inside the beats and learning how to just, again, time and space. How much time do I have to fit words in a bar? And I just monopolize the space where, I can, 4 or 5 syllable words or, a little more words than a normal rapper would use, man. But just knowing jazz, it just made that easy for me.
Well, you and Eric made, the #1 song for 2030.
2030.
Yeah. You know that's Follow the Leader.
Word
There
up.
ain't never been anything
Wow.
that sounded like
Wow.
that.
Wow.
Never.
Well,
Matter of fact, the first time I heard it, man, I took off my hat and I was like, I looked at my toes and I was like, what the fuck, man? I was like, and you know how back in the day, man, we wanted each of us to do well.
That's right.
And you pushed us, and then we pushed somebody else, and we pushed you, and it,
Exactly.
and it changed when record companies and managements got in the middle of the mix. But artist to artist, the thing about it, we wanted to beat each other out, but not with the same thing, but with very unique styles.
Right.
And
right.
learn from each other and
That's right.
morph it, and then come back up, and then you see that somebody else would pick up from that and be like, both of us be like, damn, all right.
Word up. Word up.
Yeah. And that was a beautiful period, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. If anybody ever heard of it, they called it the golden era. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, I think just want to be original. You know what I mean? Push the envelope, and like you said, everybody was coming out. Like you can driving home and driving somewhere. All of a sudden, somebody new song will come on. It's like, oh shit. Yeah, I gotta get to the studio, man. You know what I mean? I gotta get home, write something. You know what I mean? But that was the energy that we was giving each other, man. And everything was different, but it was just that creative, energy to just wanna be better than not so much better than the next man, but good as you can be. You know what I mean? Because we pushed each other and we had no choice. You know what I mean? Public Enemy, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, all of us kind of, kept our ear to the street to see what we was going to do next. And, ran in the studio and like, all right, I got to top that. You know what I mean? But that's what made it the golden era. And that's why we here today, man. You know what I mean? No biting.
Yeah, right.
That's it. No
you
biting.
had to stay off of people's territory, because I tell you,
That's right.
I've said this story many times, man. I Know You Got Soul came out right after the back end of the year Dominance by My Melody and Eric B. for President. And I stared at the DJ, and the DJ played it 9 times in a row that night. Old Westbury College. And I came out of there like, and Aunt Barry, Eric B.'s brother, was talking so much shit because we all had the same management company. So our first album was kind of dated, because back then they would kind of push your stuff back. So back then you had to record on the moment. And, like I said, this man changed the styles. So I was like, man, we can't bring no 86 style to work in 87. And then March came and it was, I Know You Got Soul. And I said, that's just the greatest shit of all fucking time. That's like, I don't even and I was half heated, half inspired, and I locked myself in the crib for 2 days. Matter of fact, Hank wanted to come. Hank Shockley came to my house and said, "Yo, man, take a break. Want to play some ball?" And I slammed the door in his face, man.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's that like, yo, I gotta get in the studio, man. I gotta make a hit. And that was that creative, that just wanting to be good, man, wanting to have a dope record out, especially after you hear one of their joints, man. So it was just good to be in that era. And, when we all seen each other, it was nothing but love. You know what I mean? But when we got back in the studio, it's like, oh, goddamn, Chuck. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing coming up in that era, man, and being able to, at that time, hip-hop was growing and maturing, and we was able to get it at that time, man, and kind of shape it into, what we call hip-hop.
Live, you never has made a mistake all the way up to now. There's a live album of you on iTunes, I think, in the Apple Store, and it was like a 2011 or something like that. And I'm listening, and I said, "This is the greatest hip hop live album of all time," because I've never heard you make a mistake. What is that pressure, man? It's like, I mean, look, on the mic, I'll be like, "Well, fuck, a mistake is fuck. It's just gonna have to roll," but this man has never made a mistake.
Put pressure on me now, man.
Nah, he never made a mistake. Never. I mean, for real. It's like, my mouth was open, and I was like, man. So, just like that pressure. And the question is, right? As a high school quarterback, a star quarterback,
yes, sir.
and Wine Dance, a name of a town that we're very familiar with from Strong Island, that people still can't pronounce right.
Got Wine Dance over there? There you go, my J. Straight path for the building.
Straight path.
There we go. That's about 4 blocks from my mom's and pop's crib, man. Yeah. Word up. I was right there on 12th, man. Yeah, 12 Washington, man. All right. I hope they do now, man. I hope they do now.
Could I add in? I mean, my grandparents bought property in Wine Dance in the 50s, but they sold it by the 70s. So I missed the Wine Dance thing, but I'm very familiar. I'm from Roosevelt up the road. But as a quarterback, high school quarterback, what did that do for you? Did you see the line as a high school quarterback, and I'm not talking about rhyming, your production? Is there like a lineage between the two?
Actually, man, I used to go hard with working out for the quarterback and football and trying to, reach the next level, man. I remember before the season started, maybe a week or two, I start running to the high school, get my run on. Plus, you want everybody to see you, you know what I mean, running down the street, you know what I mean? You feel important, like, yeah, they go, Rod, get ready for the season, you know what I mean? But I remember getting my little workout on. I remember coming back home. My pops was in the kitchen, so, I come in the house, like, Pops like, yeah, I'm just working out, Dad. He was like, did you run backwards? Pops was real, like he would give me half the story all the time. But he said, did you run backwards? I'm like, and it was always trivia, so I sat there. I was trying to think of the answer first. Why is he asking me this? Because I don't want to, sound dumb. Nah, Dad. He said, well, you a quarterback, right? I'm like, yeah. He said, well, how you going to, after you take the snap, how you going to get back to, okay. You know what I mean? So I became one of the illest straight drop back quarterbacks in the game. And the first year after he said that to me, I didn't get sacked the whole year. You know what I mean? What it is, you got your eyes on the whole field instead of running back this way, you know, you can see this side. You got to look this way to see that side. So I just drop straight back. I got the whole field. Boom, boom, boom. So, you know what I mean? Just trying to, you know, throw further, run faster, you know, be better. You know, was my, you know, thing, man. But things happen for a reason. Quarterbacks is 6'7", 280 pounds. So, you know, I'm glad Eric B knocked on the door because I'm only 5'8", $140 on a good day. Yeah, I mean, so things happen for a reason, man. But I was in love with football, man, just like I love music, man. And, you know, I really thought I was going to be in the NFL one day, man. But again, man, you know, wasn't quite big enough. And Eric B knocked on the door and some, you know, better things happened, man. So, what up?
Also as a Long Islander, it all made sense when I heard your story about microphone theme, cause I come from the same place, and when I heard it was DJ Pleasure, I was like blown away, cause we were DJs in Nassau County, and Pleasure was the king of DJs in Suffolk County. Long Island's made out of 2 counties, really 4 counties, because Brooklyn and Kings. Brooklyn is Kings, and then that's why they got Queens.
Right.
So when they talk about, you know, Long Island, it's really Brooklyn, Queens, Nassau, and Suffolk counties.
Right.
It looks like a big fish, and Brooklyn, Queens are at the fish,
Uh-huh.
but at the fish head. But for real. So when it came down to it, you know, the particular styles that were going around, that were going around, and you came up with your new style, and then you just particularly, you know, just changed that whole game of that whole particular island. And speak to a little bit about, you know, your aunt, your great, I mean, your fantastic aunt, because that blew me away too. Because, you know, I mean, the whole Pleasure and the DJ thing and the microphone fiend, and then also your aunt, Ruth Brown. Does anybody know Ruth Brown out here? I mean, Mama, Treat Your Daughter Mean, the woman that built Atlantic Records, you know, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, back when it first started and opened up, Ruth Brown. How long, I mean, when you was coming up and you would tell people your aunt's Ruth Brown, did it click to them immediately, or was something that they gained the more and more you would tell the story? Because that blew me away. And I know we all related to somebody, but that's royalty in the family, from the top to the bottom.
Well, it was, you know, it was always like being around. She used to babysit me. So I was able to kind of, you know, get a bird's eye view of how she lived and you know, did her thing. What was crazy, man, is how laid back and how cool she was about it. I could be over there at the house. She'll have a show later on that night, sitting there relaxing, watching TV. Like, you know, you never know she had a show. Just sitting there watching TV, eating Slim Jims and shit. Word up. Slim Jims, watching the stories and shit. I'm running around, snotty nose, doing my thing. Commercial come on, she'll jump up, go grab some clothes. And she had this big table where she used to, you know, do her art and stuff. She throw her clothes on the table, go back, sit down, finish watching TV, commercial come on, jump back up. She grabbed a big thing of glue. This is the first time I seen it. She grabbed a big thing of glue and just went back, sat back down. Commercial came on, she went in there and grabbed some glitter, threw it up in the air. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, boom, boom. Pocketbook, shoes, hat, boom, boom. When she put that shit on that night, man, it looked like she got that shit from, you know, the fashion gallery down on 7th Avenue, man. Regular suit when she started, man. When she finished, it looked like she was ready for the stage, man. So just watching her, man, I was always in awe. Never knew what she was doing, just trying to wonder what she was gonna do. That cool as the other side of the pillow, man. And I try to incorporate that, you know, with how I do before my show. You know what I mean? Just try to be as relaxed as possible and normal as possible, and that should carry on to the stage. You know what I mean? So that's big up to my aunt Ruth Brown for schooling me on how to do. You know what I mean? Only thing I ain't doing yet is doing my own clothes. I'm gonna work on that next, man. But she was ill, man. She get her glue, do like a real crazy design, let it sit for a minute, come back, take the. Like, all right, but dope, man. Like the whole experience, man. Thinking back, even like doing the book, it was dope because I kind of put myself back in them shoes again, man. Um, Being entertainers, man. A lot of times we don't get a chance to look back at a lot of things. You know what I mean? We're so busy preparing for something or concentrating on the future. You know what I mean? So the book gave me a chance to like reminisce on a lot of things that I've been through, a lot of things that I've seen, a lot of things that I experienced, man. So, a lot different than writing a song, man. So I'm glad that's why I'm real glad I did it, man. So if y'all got the book, I hope y'all enjoy it. You know what I mean? I put a lot of love and time into it. And word up. Really hope y'all enjoy it. Word up.
One of the biggest struggles in writing the book is just letting it go.
Yes.
Letting it go, because sometimes you got, I could be more perfect, gotta be more perfect, and then you gotta just like let it go.
Yeah.
Maybe build on it with another book later on, but
Yeah.
it's a real tough one. But I mean, this is a holy grail for real, man. And one of the stories you tell in the book, man, is just the story of your upbringing with always music in the house.
Yes.
Seeing your brother Steve on the road our first year out.
Yeah.
And he was made. Look, if you didn't say it, he was telling everybody what music was.
Yeah, man. My brother, he just like me, man. We love music, man. We sit in a room and play, certain records or just vibe out. Me and him was sitting in a room one day playing John Coltrane. My brother played the sax. That's why I started playing the sax. Luckily, my brother was lazy, and he would play the sax and just put it down. Don't even take it apart and put it in the box. He just put it down and cut out. I'm like this. Oh shit! He left that shit out. It's my chance. And try to play the same thing he just played. Now I mean by ear. So everything he did, I tried to do, man. So, but we love music, man. Analyzing it, critiquing it, enjoying it, whatever. But one day we sitting there, man, listening to John Coltrane, my favorite things, and got to a certain joint, live joint. Got to a certain joint, and he played two notes at one time. And we heard this song. We used to play it like at least once a week. You know what I mean? It was like a ritual. I can't tell you exactly what we was doing while we was listening, but you get up in the morning, you light one up, and you know what I mean? But at all the times we heard it, we never caught it. And the day that we caught it, we caught it at the same time and looked at each other like, it must have been some good shit that day. We looked at each other like, yo, did you hear that shit? We pulled the needle back. It's like, yo, kept pulling it back. We couldn't believe it. Yo, two notes at one time. Playing the saxophone, it's impossible. Every time you change your finger, you change the notes. So for him to play two notes at one time, we was like, how the fuck? So trying to figure that out, and I take people's ideology of what they do and try to convert it into hip hop. So now my thing is if John Coltrane could play two notes at one time, what could I do? With a pen and words and like, you know what I mean? Like this is the innovators that push the envelope, and that's one of the reasons why he's John Coltrane. You know what I mean? So I said, well, what am I bringing to the table? You know what I mean? I can't say two words at one time, but I can do something where people say, yo, that's next level. And, just listening to things like that, man, kind of gave me the will to want to just, be the best I can be.
Yo, man, your words lock into your music because you understand what that music should be with your words. So you just can't throw a beat at Rakim. And then you have the, some people might call the musical sorcery, to go in and make that beat do what you want it to do. Like, it's like
Sure.
you will make that beat do what you want it to do. And that, so I get to the question is that what I never liked what I heard over the years when they say, oh yeah, Rakim need to get away from Eric B. He need better beats. And I said, it's not about better beats. Rakim is the beat.
Mm.
You know, and I always just simply said they don't know nothing about no goddamn hip hop or music to say this shit. Because if they knew better, they wouldn't come up with that. So even like later on, when they say, "Oh, it's the automatic thing," it's Dre and Rakim, and that's not necessarily like with a ball team. You might have two all-stars, doesn't necessarily mean they got chemistry.
That's right. That's right.
And the chemistry basically is what you could take. Rakim could take bum, 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 and make a masterpiece out of that shit. So I just wanted to tell you that.
All right.
And cats kept talking that, oh, look like, oh, Raw on this. I mean, they'll do a little something, but I thought they overrated that because people didn't understand that you always going to be the beat.
Thank you, man. Well,
And I think Jazzy Jeff, that's Will Smith to some of y'all. It's covered in the book. And when I heard Will do Summertime, I was like, okay, I guess the rules changed a little bit.
yeah. Well, hey, yo, the funny thing is, man, is I was riding in the car, and I'm flashing through. We had 3 stations back then in New York, so I'm flashing back and forth. I flashed to one station, flashed. I was like, oh shit, that's my shit. I went back. It was Will Smith. I was like, what the fuck? I was mad, yo. I was mad as shit for a while, man. Word up.
I felt you because when they did "I Got the Power," I was like, yo, did I do that joint?
Word up, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? You get in your feelings when you sit back and create something that you feel is dope. You know what I mean? And then somebody come and basically do the same thing. But they go, my man, again, bite it, no biting. You know what I mean? And yeah, and that was forbidden. That's what was dope about that era we came up into, man. We refused to do anything that the next brother was doing.
You can snatch a little bit, like a little bit of it, but you got to get back in your skin.
That's right.
One thing, also your book very clarifies is that, a lot of times people see, all right, black dude write a book, and the stereotype of the family is always the stereotype.
Right.
But your family was just straight up. Mom, dad did their thing. Kids grow up, did their thing. Solid, dope family unit. And you the youngest, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So you just got the trick.
I got it all. Yes, sir. Rolled up. It all poured down on me. Rolled up. And I definitely learned a lot from each and every one of my brothers and sisters, man. If they wasn't watching me or, babysitting me or, you know what I mean, if I wasn't blackmailing them, I definitely, learned a lot, man, to the point where, growing up and becoming a young man, I look back at a lot of things that, they taught me, man, and it helped me, get to where I was going or, whatever the case is, man. So, I've been blessed, man.
And do you feel that? Did you feel their presence when you do? Because Rakim, let me tell you, to get Rakim to do an interview, man, you got to be special. I mean, I feel special right here, right? So, well, one thing Ryan always had in check, man, that he always, they're going to talk to Ryan, he's going to think. He's going to, think 5 times before he talk, and he's going to always just leave some jewels for people when they listen, and always I guess you always thought about who in your family could be looking at you.
Indeed so. Like, and again, coming up around my pops, I think since a young age, he was always, trivia type, always made me think, man, and I think that kind of poured off, and I kind of. That's my method too. I like people to think too. You know what I mean? I remember the craziest thing my pops did to me. And I ain't get it till I grew up. You know what I mean? But young kid running around, ice cream truck used to come down the block 4 or 5 times a day. Same truck, same block, 4 or 5 times a day. Went up to my pops, yo, pops, get some ice cream. I got about 10, 15 people with me though, you know what I mean? Pops look at me, give me the look like, got me on the spot, because you know what I mean? Usually I would have told you no, but here you go. Later on that day, trucks come back. Pop, could I get a little more money for the ice cream? Now I got about 20 people with me. Pops look at me like, you gotta be kidding. Gave me some more money. True story. Later on that day, about 4 or 5 o'clock, ice cream truck ain't come back, so I wanted to go down to the corner store. Yo, Dad, can I get a couple dollars? I want to go down to the corner store. He gave me the look. I got about 15 people with me. Gave me another 20. He said, here you go, squeeze the green off it. He gave me a look, so I looked up. I grabbed it, almost balled it up. I thought he meant don't lose it. Balled it up in my hand, walked to the store, cleared the spot out, threw the 20 on the counter. Me and all my dudes, we left not a penny, son. Just thought I did good. I had my son, same thing, wine dance, ice cream truck, 10 times a day up and down the block. My son got about 30 little kids with him. They out there, football, basketball, just all kind. Yo, Dad, ice cream truck. So about the third time when he did it to me, I started catching flashbacks. I said, yo, here you go. Squeeze the green off it. That shit hit me. Boom. My pops didn't mean don't lose it. Don't spend it all. You know what I mean? But Pops, you know what I mean? He'll leave me like that, though. He'll tell me something, just leave me hanging. I'm sitting there like, but he definitely kind of, got me ready, man, for what I'm doing today, man. And that's making people think.
Wow. I'm gonna segue right into the song that, I lost my dad, 4 years ago, and that's the natural transition of life that you lose a parent.
Yes.
But I cried, and this is a rare thing when you hear a hip hop song, rap song, whatever, and it draws the emotion out of you. And tell us about the song. You talk about your late parents, and I played it on my radio show, and
My condolences, my brother. What up? Yeah, man. My pops passed away in '88. I was still a young kid, man, and just it was rough because I was on tour, and I didn't have that quality time to spend with him. So I felt a little bitter towards hip hop when he passed. I didn't want to rap. I didn't want to hear rap. I canceled the tour. I don't know if you remember, we were supposed to go to Africa. I canceled the tour. Like I said, man, I didn't want to rhyme. I didn't want to hear beats. I didn't want to hear hip hop. I listened to 2 artists for like 2-3 weeks straight, and that was Bob James, Nautilus, and Miles Davis, which is Brew. And that's like the only songs that made sense, to me at that time. But a couple weeks went by, and friends was telling me, yo, this brother's trying to get in touch with you, got some beats for you. So at the time, I didn't want to hear it. I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll get at him. See a brother a couple weeks, yo, this brother said he got some joints for you, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, bro, I'm going to holler at him. So one day, I'm going down to the store, and his wife approaches me. So, you got to pay a little attention when somebody's wife, approach you. My husband's trying to get in touch with you. He got something for you. Like, oh, shit, this shit is real. So I took the number, gave my man a call, and he was like, yeah, man, I do beats. I did some beats with um Casanova Rud, Super Lover C. Did some joints for them, man. I got some beats, you know what I mean, that you might like. So I'm like, all right, man, I'll come through, you know, come to the crib. He invited me to his house. So I get up in the house, and he had a nice room. All four walls had record shelves on them. So we walk in, and the first thing I notice is every record got the plastic cover on it, mint condition. I'm already jealous. I got my records. The shit's half of the covers is missing. Half the covers got wet from the flood last year. I see my everything mint condition, so I'm like, all right, I might be in the right place. We sat down. The first record he played was Ghetto. As soon as I heard it, as soon as it came on, I was like, oh, okay, okay. I'm trying to get back at it. You know what I mean? That record just like it made me feel like, all right, now I got reason to rap. That makes sense. You know what I mean? And if I'm gonna say something, it'll be on that beat. You know what I mean? So I was able to kind of get back in my bag, um, you know, after going through that, man. And it was even, you know, therapeutic. I mentioned my father in the record. You know what I mean? Just I'm glad I listened when my father was rapping to me. You know what I mean? But that was my way of getting back in, and you know, I know that's what he wanted me to do. You know what I mean? But that was my way of getting back in and getting back on my game. All right.
And the song you did on your recent album, you know, about your parents.
Yeah, I did a song about my mom. Mom passed away 2005, and tore me up, man. And I did the song, and what was so crazy is after I did the song, I couldn't even listen to it. You know what I mean? But when you know, like my parents had such a you know profound impact on my life, man. It's like to this day I still look, you know, for their approval when I do something. If it's you know teaching my kids something, if it's handling something in a certain way, you know, and you know if it's music, you know what I mean. I hope they listening and hoping that, you know what I mean. So to me, you know, they still around me, and I still look for their consent in everything I do, man. So it's just well, you know, it keeps me focused too. Keeps me focused.
I mean, you a brother that epitomizes like let the rhythm hit him, because you don't really go to no kind of schedule or that whenever, you know, a Rakim album is like a comet passing. You know, I mean, the 18th letter, and then that passed around, and then one of my favorite Rakim albums that y'all need to support, you know, with Holy Are You on it, you know, is, you know, and
Thank you, bro.
and I played the hell out of that album, and out of both of those albums. And so a lot of times when you're in a system and you get promoted and all that, and people's like, yeah, I got this and I got this album, and I think what hip hop needs to recognize is that a lot of your greatest work, you know, Seven Seal, it's an untouchable record, man.
Thank you, bro.
And
Thank you.
in hip hop, we talk about people that sleep on records, but we need more administrators, curators, you know, scientists teaching the schools,
That's right.
and because it's already out there. So a school could get taught just on breaking down the Seven Seals. Fantastic album cover.
Yeah.
Holy Are You. You remind me of the Isaac Hayes album cover.
Yo, yeah, G. Your mom's had that back in the day. Every day I used to come down the stairs. That's the first thing I used to see. Isaac Hayes standing there like this and shit. Come down the stairs. We used to always go, "What up, Ike?" But yeah, man, it's you know, just trying to paint that vision, paint that picture, and you know, sometimes, you know, with like the Seventh Seal, there's no song on there called Seven Sails. It's the name of the album. So we wanted to try to explain as much as we could on the cover as well. You know what I mean? But again, man, thought provoking. I wanted people to understand what the Seven Seals was, and hopefully somebody would research it. I think Revelations in the Bible is one of the most important chapters in there because it has to do with now, and just trying to make people just again go out and research it, so that we aware of what's going on, man. And it's definitely taking place right now. So you get time, man. It's real complicated. Revelations took me about, I read it about 6 times, and still quite don't, I don't understand it, but it's something that we definitely need to read, and it'll show us what's going on, and answer some questions, and kind of let us know what to look out for, which is real important, man. But Revelations, y'all. Word up.
Do you get tired of people asking you questions like, what do you think of hip hop now?
Well, yeah, you know what I mean? And it's annoying. You know what I mean? It's like, it's almost like a setup. I be feeling like it's a setup, like somebody like TMZ gonna pop out on you and shit. Like, yo, why is you always asking me that, man? Shit. But I think hip hop is traveling, and it's going to different cities, man, and different places, and they get a hold of it, and they try to express it, the best way they can. When it was young in the Bronx, it was hip hop, the hip hop, you know what I mean? And when you think of that now, you're like, what the fuck is hip hop? It was young, you know what I mean? So hopefully, it'll grow in a lot of the places where it's young now, man. Hopefully it'll mature, man. But I'm proud of it. Came a long way. It's lucrative, you know what I mean? And believe it or not, it's considered a genre now. So, I'm proud of it. I just hope that it, again, matures in a lot of ways. We definitely getting beat up for our creative content that we putting out on a lot of these records, man. But hopefully it'll get better, and again, it'll mature, in a lot of the places where it's young. That's the way I like to explain it. Instead of saying some of this shit is wax. Whew. But you know what I mean? I was politically correct. I hit him with the it's just, hip hop, the hip.
I mean, do you think a good barometer, like sometimes somebody might ask me and they'll ask me about an era, and I said, look, man, it's not about comparing to the God MC, because you just can't do that. I mean, that's in my personal opinion. But I tell people, I said, well, look, if you're an MC and you on the stage and you don't set a difference between the stage and the audience, and you don't turn your own crowd out, then I don't think you ranking. I mean, if you don't, but it might be because maybe things are like flooded a lot more. But when cats saw you, they quit. Cause they, it was almost like, Roger slowed everything down to him, so it looked easy. But then again, you can't come in unstudied, and you can't come in not understanding that you have to have polyrhythms it seems simple, but he got polyrhythms going on. So, and then he got tonality and all this stuff going on. So it seemed easy, but it's almost like a boxer that looks like easy to hit, but you never gonna hit him. So that's why I would always try to tell somebody like, yo, man, if you can't turn your own audience out and they feel that they could do what you could do easily, then that's the barometer. So when somebody asks you about them and say, well, if they ain't sending people home shaking their heads, man, then why are we talking about them? And I see one thing about the golden era, you shake your head and be like, yo, I either got to go to the lab or I got to give this shit up, man, because them motherfuckers is too fucking incredible and shit. So that's pretty much. And anytime you step to the mic, when they call you the greatest MC of all time, and sometimes they switch it up, KRS, and you number two. And they throw Kane up in the mix.
All right.
But it has to feel good, like you the top three, top five, and stuff like that. Do you understand when you see young people or young MCs, or I mean 30 and under, right? Do they really understand what that means? Because it's like, look, everybody today, regardless whatever they want to say, they want to do this, or they want to do this. And you in the house might be cooking some eggs or whatever, doing like your auntie Ruth.
Down there, snacking on the Slim Jim and shit.
Right. And they come in and see, Padu or Uncle, Ra. And I mean, it got to be amazing because at the end of the day, this dude in the kitchen is the greatest MC of all time.
Yeah, sometimes, man, I gotta, check myself, man. You know what I mean? It's a blessing, man. Like, the accolades is one thing where, you say you're the best, but it's a whole different thing when everybody else do, man. And luckily I was able to kind of use it as fuel. People used to say, yo, ain't that a lot of pressure? I used to say, yo, I'd rather have that accolade than nothing, or even, less than that. You know what I mean? So it always inspired me, and always just try to, reach that level that they was giving me. You know what I mean? So it kept me on my toes, man. So no pressure, no pressure. Word up. But yeah, man, it's definitely a blessing, man, to be able to, impact the game, man, and to get, praise like that, man. I kind of spoke it into fruition. I always said a little bit, I'm better than the rest of them, and you know what I mean, things like that. But I had no idea that, that phrase ever gets said from the public.
Oh, lining all them MCs up in the line.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was fronting. Now, I was hoping I would, be somewhat good one day, man. But that was, my altered ego, telling me, yeah, man, you can do whatever you want, man. This kid ain't better than you. You better than them. You know what I mean? But a good writer, needs that, man. You know what I mean? So my altered ego definitely wrote a bunch of songs and probably hurt a couple people's feelings along the way. You know
we saluted that man tough enough to break New York from Long
Word
Island.
up,
It's
yeah.
like, that was big for us.
Yeah, I had to let him know.
A lot of times people talk about hip hop, and they talk about Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens when they had their thing. But Ra was at the beginning of putting Long Island on the map, and it was heavy competition. It was. You come out to Long Island, it was a forest fire, man.
That's right.
We felt proud that Rob was the first that really seriously, significantly said, "Look, man, this is the epicenter of what this shit is all about," and we're thankful for that.
No doubt, man. Thank you. Big time.
More books. You could just have a book with just all your lyrics.
Hey,
That's
yo,
it.
I ain't even gonna front, man. By the time I got halfway done, I started having fun with the shit, man. And before you know it, I started adding shit. They were like, yo, why don't you hold that for part two, man? It's like, yo, we got room, man. Just throw that shit on the back cover, man. Just tuck that shit in. Put little, book savers and page savers and shit in there. I was trying to put as much info as possible in the book, man. But I kept some things back, man. Hopefully, the next couple years, man, I can do another one and kind of take that one to the next level.
You know what they say now we in 2020, the decade of clarity and hindsight, is that once you got that book, Then comes that biopic.
Yeah, man, you know. And thinking about that too, man. That'll be dope. I think that'll be dope, man. Kind of. You know, I would like to see my, you know, world or my life depicted on TV, man. Kind of. You know what I mean? I'm interested how you know, I've been, you know, on the inside so I could be on the outside looking in, man. I want to see, you know, what I did. You know what I mean? Hold up. I'm a modest dude, man. I try not to. You know what I mean? I try not to think about the shit too much, man. So I need to see the shit, and I know it's real. Hold up.
Well, yeah, but the beautiful thing, man, is saluting when we know a king, when the king is a king, and we ain't got no problem with that. Real man ain't got no problem with that, and I thank you, bro. I thank you for real. I mean, this man helped form me to do what I do. Either it was from coming up and watching him, and the tripped out thing was like he came in, he was like 10 years younger than me. He was still in high school. I was an old man at 27, man. And I was like, how old? Because you know he had like a demeanor like he was 31.
Yeah, man. I don't know where that shit came from, man.
And then you talking like you 31.
Hold up. Yeah, man. I think, you know, coming up, man, you had to kind of learn fast. You know where, you know, I wasn't from the city, but it's from a nice little hood, man, and I guess because it was I guess what you call a small neighborhood. I was literally raised by a village. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't go down the street without one of my brother's friends, one of my sister's friends, my father's or my mother's people. You know what I mean? You couldn't do nothing. Yeah. I know your pops. Better go ahead and get off this corner, you know what I mean? So you couldn't do nothing out there, man. And the jewels was daily, you know what I mean? And you know, you walk down the street, something happens, somebody say something to you, you know what I mean? So a lot of people out there, man, that I love and respect. And you know, I definitely know the feeling when, you know, and I know that's what's missing nowadays, you know, that a lot of kids may need. There was a lot of love in the hood, you know what I mean? And it seemed like, you know, people cared for people, you know what I mean? The shit, you know, it got crazy at times, man, but for the most part, being that it was a small neighborhood, you know, my big brother's friend gonna make sure I'm good, you know what I mean? My sister's friend gonna make sure I get a snack if I'm hungry in the park, you know what I mean? So, you know, I definitely took advantage of, you know, being out there and being, you know, close to a lot of people out there.
Well, I'm a radical advisor, brother. And you know, I guess you know that from me, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I just think that straight path been straight path just too long because it was a lazy way to name the street. I think it need to be Rakim Avenue. Right now, right? Makes sense.
You need to take that straight to the town, man.
Yep. That's the thing I think I need to help you work on.
They gave me a street out there, man, but I think I need straight path. I was born. I need straight path, man. I did a lot of things out there, you know, some bad, but mostly good. So yeah, that'd be dope, man. That'd be dope. From take it all, you know what I mean? From what's that, Master Pico all the way down to Deer Park, right? Word, man. Let me hold that, man. You know what I mean? Why not? Word. But yeah, man.
Any music around the corner?
Yeah, I'm actually having a studio built right now. I just moved maybe 2 years ago, and had the studio in the house for a while, man, and it kind of got complacent. You know what I mean? Get up in the morning, just go down there with your boxes and your wife beat on and shit. You sit there for a minute. You know what I mean? I need to get up, take a shower, go out the house, and, like I'm going to work. You know what I mean? So I built the studio way on the other side of the yard and shit. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm going to work and shit. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely working on something, man.
See, y'all couldn't even imagine this shit, right? For real? Y'all got this urban picture in your head, man. Yeah, man.
Word up, man. So yeah, man. I'm looking forward to making some music, man. I think at this point in my life, like what's dope about being an artist, man. The more you know, the more you learn. the more creative, you know what I mean, you get. Um, I wrote a lot of albums where, you know, I used to say, you know, I didn't write half the shit that I wrote. I had help. You know what I mean? You know, some people call it that.
Half of it writes itself.
Exactly. You know what I mean? That divine consciousness. Like, you know, I think a couple times I might have tapped into a couple things, but
Because you don't get there. You don't get there often.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like, and it don't last for long.
Word up, and you gotta you know, suck it up when you do get in there and absorb it. But I think at this point in my life, man, back then I had to think about it, figure it out, research it, and then write it. I think I'm at the point now where I don't have to do, you know, as much research. So I'm looking forward, man, to sitting down and writing some rhymes and you know, doing another album. So I hope y'all, you know, not only enjoy this book, but enjoy this album that I'm working on. All right?
Last couple of questions, right?
Yes,
and these
sir.
are also ideas. You heard it first here. You ever think about your next book just doing an acapella album? Because you the dude that they want to put like a trillion beats behind. Because I know
that'd
you
be
must
crazy,
have had a 8 million beat makers over the last 30 years. Like, yo, Ra, I could do this beat for you.
Word up, word up. Yo, that's a good idea, man. Word up. And it'll be interesting to hear, you know, like some of the beats to come back. You know what I mean?
You know, there'd be a lot of garbage.
Oh yeah,
Too,
whole
right?
lot of that. Whole lot of
There'd
that.
be a lot of trash out, but there'll be a select few when you listen and be like,
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's a good idea, man. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know if I'll do a new acapella joint. Maybe one of my old joints. Just do the whole shit, put it out, let them enjoy it. Word up. Yes.
Of course, I caught you a couple times on social media. I only do Twitter. So sometimes, you know, the thing is, I say, I don't see Rob being on no social media, but there got to be ways that the average person could get in contact with you, stay up with all your stuff, you just be part of whatever you got to give out. So do you have anything that people could go to and just...
Where's my manager at? He handle all my social media.
Where's Matthew? Where's Matthew? Stand up and
where's Matthew Kemp at, man? She said he's in the back.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I'm not Matthew Kemp.
What else, CB?
The CB probably know, too. I think it's Rakim the God MC on Twitter. Hey, Matt.
What's my
up,
social media page, bro? Huh? Got a few?
So we're trying to do, so you should know this too. So we're trying
Yeah, I
to
should
switch
know.
everything over. Social media pages were kind of all over the place. So on Facebook it was Rakim Allah. So Facebook.com Rakim Allah. On Instagram it was official Rakim Allah. And on Twitter it was official Rakim. So we changed it all up thanks to your son Tom Mel. And now everything's migrating over to just the God Rakim. So whether it's Facebook, this, that, other, you got it covered. You know? So we're keeping it consistent.
That's easier for me to remember now. Man.
Got you. I try to keep
All
it
right,
easy.
the God Rakim, we gonna run with that one.
We're going to run with that one. Everyone go
Fine.
sign up for that one because
All right.
that one doesn't have quite as many as everything else yet. So.
All right, I won't need you no more for that question, man. My man Matt. Make some noise for my man Matt.
And y'all make some noise as I raise the mic to the God MC Rakim.
Thank you, my man. Make some noise for my man Chuck D, please. Word up. Appreciate you big time, bro. All right? Word up.